competition taking place up at the technical center coming up this week on Sunday. So you got to be able to make sure that you check out that competition. Game one, just to give you some idea in terms of what's happening in the over 40 league. Game one, we'll see Golden Grove Masters taking on Extraordinary Men at 3 p.m. This is all taking place at the Technical Center on Mother's Day, May 8, 2022. Game 2 at 4:20 p.m. Up and Over taking on West Ham FC at 4:20 p.m. And then 5:40, we'll see the Turf Masters, the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda's team. They'll be taking on Legacy FC. And then you have Dunbar Crew taking on Ton and Bang as the umpires step out here. So we got lots of action. We also have volleyball action, which is taking place at the indoor facility right there in town. So you got lots of sporting action happening. Jennings will need 123 for victory. That's what Jennings will need. And so you got to be able to make sure that you check it out. Also to let you know that this weekend also will be the inter-school track and field competition. Yeah, the inter-school track and field competition will take place on Saturday and Sunday at Yasco. And also to let you know that the Leeward Islands Hurricanes will be practicing. They'll have a couple of practice games here in Antigua and Barbuda starting this weekend right here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground. The first game starts on Sunday and Monday. A 2-day practice game will be taking place with the Leeward Island Hurricanes. So you got options in terms of sports for the weekend. You got to make sure that you check on this one out. So I'm just going to give you an idea in terms of the points table in Group 1. And you would have had a situation here where PIC Blackhawks, they would have been top of the group with some 15 points. Their net run rate was 4.182. And Bethesda Golden Eagles, from their 3 games, they ended up with 5 points. 3 teams ended up with 5 points. But in the end, Bethesda Golden Eagles, Caribbean Union Bank, Bethesda Golden Eagles, getting in with a net run rate of 0.678. Pigots ended up in 3rd position. Their net run rate was 1.512. And New Winthrops, who upset Pigots yesterday, their net run rate was 2.104. So advancing from Group 1 would have been PIC Insurance Liberta Blackhawks and Caribbean Union Bank Bethesda Golden Eagles. They advanced to the semifinals, and now it will either be Rising Suns or Jennings. And for some strange reason, the umpires have been waiting now for the past 4 minutes here, and Rising Sun is having a conversation. The batters are here waiting. Match referee Van Roy Burns is deciding that he's going to step out. And this is, to me, totally, I don't think we need this. The umpires are already out. 122 for 7, and Rising Sun is having a meeting taking place. They're finally now dispersed. In fact, they're called back again. So I don't think this is good at all. The umpires have been out now, and there needs to be some urgency. There needs to be some action. And they're taking a photo. It's almost like they've given up and decided, and somebody has come out to take a photo. We have to have some respect for the umpires. This really certainly is not good at all here for what is happening. This is an international competition taking place. Van Roy, the match referee, has now come out to speak to the management team, and he's got to make sure that is going to be happening in terms of the action taking place. So finally, Rising Sun has come out, and will now try to see if they can be able to get themselves organized. But I think the umpires have to be a little bit more firmer. The standby umpire needed to get out there and say to Rising Sun, come on, you got to get onto the field in terms of the action taking place here. So Jennings, Tigers will need 123 runs. Now, what is happening again? The wicketkeeper forgot his helmet. in all of this long meeting, the wicketkeeper, Gian Williams, has forgot his helmet. So he's now coming back off to try to see if he can be able to get his helmet. So final preliminary round games. Let's wait and see what's going to be happening. The field in the meantime is taking his time to bring out the helmet, which means now that Williams will now have to be able to get his helmet to walk all the way down at the other end. So anytime soon we look like we'll be able to get the game going. 5:50 in Antigua and Barbuda. The next game was expected to start at 7 o'clock, which means that we'll have another late start again this evening in this encounter. 123 is what Jennings would need. That's the target. That is their focus, and that is what they'll be looking for. George Munsey, he's already shown that he's a no-nonsense player, and Kyle KB, the music is being turned down here. Chicky Hi-Fi blaring out in his music. And Daria Hodge, no, we're not going to have Hodge, we're going to have Bruni. So I was thought that they were going to start with pace, but they're starting with spin, no slip. And Bruni, the captain, will start. Isaiah Bruni is going to bowl to the man himself, George Munsey. Comes in now to bowl to Munsey. Munsey is back and punching that down the ground 4 runs. Straight away. Shane Burton can't get across there from long on. The ball goes into the boundary for 4. So, Munsey starting very quickly with a boundary. And Jennings are off and running, therefore without loss. Captain Isaiah Booney, wearing the number 16. A couple of paces. Goes past the umpire. He comes in now to bowl to Munsey. And Munsey is back and forcing that 4 more. Through the offside. So he started on the leg side and on the offside once, and could tell you this outfield is quick here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground. 8 without loss, all 8 to Munsey. So Bruni, the captain, starting. Let's see what's going to be happening. 2 deliveries, and Jennings, they're in a hurry. 8 without loss. Here comes Bruni. It's going to come in now to bowl to Munsey. And the keeper, Benjamin. Bubbling, juggling around, dropped the ball, trying to see if he could find it. Couldn't find it in the end. Dot ball. 8 without loss. Went to over number 1. Munsey again is punching. But the big Bruni just puts his body in the way. George Munsey is going to have to be very careful, because one could maybe just skid on and get onto his stump. He's giving himself room, flashing hard, peeling off on the outside edge there. And they're thinking about 2, but he's got to get back into his crease. In the meantime, the score goes up to 9 without loss. Some 4 deliveries. 4? I think it should be 5 deliveries bowled here so far. Now brings Kyle KB into strike. The target is 123. 123 is what they will need. 123. Moving to over number 1. As Bruni is going to come in now to bowl to Kyle KB, the wicketkeeper. 9 without loss. Bruni in now to bowl to KB. KB comes quietly forward, beating all ends up. So over number 1 is completed. At the end of it, Jennings are 9 without loss. The target is 123 is what they will need. And Bruni ringing the changes. It's gone for Dean Williams, who will bowl like a slight to medium pace. He's got Dario Hodge. He's got got Shane Burton. Shane Burton coming up to him to say, listen, I want an early spell. But Bruni seems not to be interested in the conversation. Again, Shane Burton trying to convince him. Bruni is saying to him, go down on the boundary. I am running the show here. So Booney is alerting and just letting Shane Burton know that he's in control. He's the captain, and you'll have to follow the script. So Dean Williams starting his second over. 9 without loss, and it's all happening here. A lot of tactics, a lot of mindset, a lot of tactics going on here. Time wasting too. Just feel a lot of. They can't be taking so long to set a feel here. Again, Shane Burton having a discussion with Booney. Booney's not interested. It's got a slip, a short third man, a short fine leg. The mid off now go off to long off. Mid on. So they seem not to be able to be Booney. Now finally settles with what sort of feel that he wants. Dean Williams was taking a long time. Maybe trying to frustrate Jennings here. As George Muncy comes into strike. He waits now for Dean Williams, who's now going to bowl his first delivery. Wide delivery, and he starts with a wide, very early o'clock. Dean Williams wearing the number 7. 10 without loss. Comes over the wicket. Booney again looking to make another change on the offside. Without loss. So it's more or less, now I think they maybe settled and have the feel right. They've got a 6-3 feel. As Dean Williams coming into bowl to Muncy. Muncy's back and just pulling this down to the boundary for 4. Short delivery, sat up, and he just clobbered that away into the wide long on area for a boundary. The score goes up to 14 without loss. So 3 boundaries already in this spell. In the meantime, music blaring out from Chicky's Hi-Fi. Lovely song there of King Ops in it. The undefeated. Dean Williams comes into bowl to Munson. Munson stands up straight and plays a delivery quietly back to the bowler. Munson is on 13. And the score is on 14 without loss. 14 without loss. Munson is 13. He's had 3 boundaries so far. Shane Burton is being warming up, so it means that he maybe might bowl the next over. Dean Williams in now to bowl to Munson. Munson is going across the line of that delivery there, but I think that one would be pitch outside the line of the leg stump. And Munson once he's got to understand, he's going to have to be careful with that. Be advised to maybe just look to punch the ball a little bit more up in front of him. The bounce wasn't there. Kyle KB more or less modeling on the non-striker's end. Needs to get moving, get his blood moving so that he could, be looking to try to back up and get a single. Start walking away. 14 without loss. Went over number 2. Dean Williams, the veteran, comes in now to bowl to George Muncy. Muncy is cramped for room. Ball pitch between middle and leg. Can't get to extend his arms. And the score remains on 14 without loss. Shaquan Hewlett can bowl. Dario George has got some good gas. Shane Burton also can roll his hand over and bowl a couple of medium pacers. So it's going to be interesting to see Isaiah Booney, how he handles his bowlers here. Here is a big drive here by George Muncy. And that is gone all the way for another boundary again. Pitched up and gone wide long on for another boundary. And the score in the meantime goes up to 18 without loss. Munson goes to 17 without loss. And really, Dean Williams don't have that pace. Again, Shane Burton comes across to give his advice in terms of his field placing. Is Booney listening? I don't know. We'll find out. Dean Williams into his first over so far. He's already gone for 9. Bowls to Muncy. Muncy is clipping this one over mid-wicket and down to the boundary. Will it go? No, and they only got 1 run. And that's what I was talking about, the urgency and the impact. The communication between Kyle KB and Muncy. They got 1 run. So the over has come to an end. The score is 19 at the end of over number 2. 10 runs off the over. And the helmet finally comes off the field because the captain, Isaiah Booney, he comes out of the attack, and Shane Burton, who wears the blue Puma boots, he now comes into the bowling lineup, and he's excited. Shadrach Descati, he also bowls. So plenty of options for Booney today. Dario Hodge, like I said to you, he's got some good gas. He bowls with some real pace. He's not started here yet. In fact, Booney is gone for Shane Burton. I would have maybe gone for Dario Hodge, especially for Muncy. Well, Shane Burton is known and is quite capable of, swinging this ball here. This is only over number 3, 19 without loss. They're taking a very long time to set this field. Very, 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 very long time. And they seem to be more or less confused with where the fielder should be. Shane Burton wearing the number 10 is over the wicket now to bowl to Muncy. Muncy is punching this one down the ground. Kyle KB was thinking about a single. He's a naught. And we have to consider it to be a very long naught, as we would say. (19 without loss. Muncy is on 18 from 11 balls. 4 boundaries so far. Shane Burton again looking around to make a change. Can he start? Stop. Comes in now to bowl to Muncy. Muncy is driving sweetly through the offside. He won't get a boundary, but he can get 2 runs quite easily. And the young Bruni final return there to Benjamin, the keeper. The score in the meantime goes up to 21 without loss. I think the organization of the Cool and Smooth will have to quietly institute fines for slow over rates here, especially in this competition. There has to be some urgency to get in the overs. Once you drive in at a loose delivery, could carry here, good delivery here by Shane Burton. Shane Burton, somebody would have played for the Leeward Islands under 19, also played for the Leeward Island Hurricanes at a point in time, batted as high as number 3, number 4 for the Hurricanes in the professional setup. Played for Antigua and Barbuda, lived in Anguilla. Comes in now to bowl to Muncy. Short ball is smacked away. That's gone all the way over square leg for 6. You don't have the pace, Shane Burton. And if you're going to bowl a short ball, you have to bowl a proper short ball. First INET maximum here by Muncy. The score goes up to 27 without loss. And Muncy goes to 25. He's the overseas player. Shaquan Hewlett coming up and having a little bit of a chatter there. Muncy is not interested in the chatter. He's just looking at Shaquan Hewlett. Shane Burton is... You have to hit your straps. What line are you bowling? You can't bowl that short ball. There's no protection there. So if you're going to bowl something, you have to bowl to your field. Shadrach Descati is coming up to him and, trying to explain to him that, come on, you got to remain focused. 27 without loss. And this is only over on number 3. 27 without loss. Burton from the media center and in now to bowl to Muncy. Muncy is back and pulling this one again. 4 more. Badly lined delivery again. What is he bowling into? Which field is he bowling to? Another boundary given away. And the score for Jennings goes up to 31 without loss. Munson goes to 30. So the Rising Sun seem to have no game plan, no set game plan. They're all over the shop on all sides of the track here. And Shane Burton has really bowled a poor over here so far. It's not finished yet. And 12 runs already has come off of it. He comes in now to bowl to Muncy, into bowl to Muncy. Muncy driving to cover for 4. Beautiful shot. Ferociously hit. And I think he was sending a statement to Shakwan Hewlett to say, look at that. 35 without loss. And 3 overs have been completed. So it's all happening here. And George Munson is on the go here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground in excellent fashion. Really just lit up this ground here. 35 without loss. He's 34. And Kyle KB is a naught. 35 without loss. We start over number 4. And Dean Williams will continue. So we'll wait and see what is going to be happening. So let's see what's the approach going to be from Dean Williams. So Dean Williams is going to bowl to Kyle KB. And all Kyle KB has to think about is just rotating the strike and just giving Munson the strike. He's got to be able to find a way to get a single. It's a cool and smooth T20 explosion action taking place. Dean Williams from the CIUN in now to bowl to Kyle KB. He comes forward and is off the mark, gets a single. And Muncy comes in to strike. The score goes up to 36 without loss. And finally, the young man is off the mark. Kyle KB, the wicketkeeper. It now brings into the scoreline here Muncy, who comes in to strike, George Muncy. 36 without loss. 36 without loss. We're looking to see what is going to be happening here, as Dean Williams is going to move in nicely. He's going to come in now to bowl to the big George. Comes in now to bowl to George. George is having a heave. That's not a cricket shot. That's more or less like a slug, more or less. Kyle KB is just saying to him, come on, take your time. You got 34. Had a good start, good outing in the first game. I think he got up to 40 yard and then almost gave his wicket away to one of the spinners. 36 without loss. Dean Williams into his second over here. Cricket action taking place here. He's going to come over the wicket now to bowl to Big George. And George is driving, missed a well pitched up delivery. Now looking at his Grenicles bat and saying, how did I miss that? That is supposed to go over mid-wicket. Over wide long on for a boundary. In the meantime, the score remains on 36 without loss. 36 without loss. Dean Williams put under the pump. They need wickets. Mid on and mid off gone back to long on and long off. As Dean Williams now moves away slightly, he's going to come in now to bowl to George Muncy. And Muncy is back and just clipping this one away into the square leg area for a boundary. And the score goes up to 40 without loss. Badly lined delivery by Dean Williams. Too many things being tried here. Too many things being tried. There's no set game plan. There's no bowling pattern. Everybody's just running in and doing their own thing. And I would never understand why George, the captain, is still at slip. Isaiah Bruni, he's almost just standing there, almost like an ornament, more or less, as you would say. And they're just playing for time right now. Rising Sun, 40 without loss. The target is 123. Almost like they've given up. And this is only over number 4 being bowled. Dean Williams around the wicket to bowl to Muncy. Muncy is driving over wide long on. Will it have the legs to go for 4? It is being saved. Yes, he's still fighting and tumbling with it. They only get 2 runs in the end. So good work there by the fielder. Look, I think he would have saved 2 runs there in the process. Big tumbling save there. Looked like Shadrach Descarte. He might have been the fielder there. Really big effort there. Work put in from him. Score goes up to 42 without loss. 42 without loss, and Muncy goes to 40. Dean Williams. And again, the captain making some more changes. He's now put out Dario Hodge into the mid-wicket area. He's now come out of the slip and gone into the mid-wicket area. So that he's finally come out of the slip. And this maybe looks a maybe more balanced feel. Dean Williams bowling this to a 5-4 field. Around the wicket to bowl to Muncy. Muncy is driving. Somebody could be in trouble here if he hits. Oh, I think he had given up. And Kyle KB, and the feeling has just been ragged. Good backing up there by the young man. But I think just for a moment George would have given up. So the end of over number 4. And at the end of it, Jennings are 43 without loss. Welcome back. Just to give you an idea in terms of if you're just tuned in and you're wondering what's happening, the Rising Suns Spartan team reached 122 for 7 off their 20 overs. Top scoring was the young man Malinga Bruni with 32 not out. Shaquan Hewlett 31, GM Benjamin 21, and Dean Williams scored 18. Dario Hodge is getting himself organized to bowl. Kenway Brown for Jennings, 4 overs, no maidens, 21 runs, 3 wickets. Paul Miller, 4 overs, no maidens, 20 runs, 1 wicket. And Jadesha Martin, 4 overs, no maidens, 27 runs, 1 wicket. The target is 123 is what Jennings would need to get into the semi-final. And as we speak, they are 43 without loss. Another bowling change as Dario Hodge, who's got some good pace, got some good gas. He's a big, strong young man. Will run in, and once he can hit his straps, I think Munson and Kyle KB will have their work cut out for them. Comes in now to bowl to Munson. Munson is back and just pulling this one for 4 into the square leg area. That was a nothing delivery there by Dario Hodge. It's almost like practice. It was like throwdowns. He just ran up and just rolled his hand over. And this is a class player, Dario Hodge. You got to bowl with some venom. Got a bowl with a sense of purpose. In the meantime, the score goes up to 47 without loss. Dean Williams coming across and saying to Dario Hodge, come on, you got to hit your straps early. You can't run up and bowl that friendly delivery as if like it's a normal practice. We have a situation here where some spectators are just taking their time to stroll across. They're in no hurry. Somebody's speaking to them and they seem unconcerned, more or less. Here comes Dario Hodge. He bongs away now to bowl to Munson. He's in now to bowl to him short again, and he's pulling again through the square leg area. Who's coming around there? It looks like it is Shaquan Hewlett. He saved, I think, with 3 runs. Score goes up to 48 without loss. Munson goes to 46. 48 without loss. It's all happening here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground. Very ordinary bowling display here by Rising Sun. And ordinary to the point of even of the field placing. Can't understand why the captain, Isaac Bruni, still feels that he needs a slip for Dario Hodge, but maybe for Kyle KB. So he's attacking. He's still trying to get some wickets. So let's see what's happening. Dario Hodge is going to come in now to bowl to Kyle KB. Didn't get his rhythm right. Strike pattern was off. Umpire signals dead ball, and you'll have to go back and bowl that over again. 48 without loss. 48 without loss. This has been a blinder here. A really quick start. Daryl Hodge turns from the media center end. It's going to come in now to bowl to the wicketkeeper for Jennings, Kyle KB, the right-hander. And he's trying to play a late cut, but the ball had beaten him long before that. Score remains on 48 without loss. There's no life. There's no momentum here by the Rising Suns team. They need a spark. Something needs to happen. Can Dario Hodge produce something special? If you're wondering what's happening on Platinum FM 97.9, your sports station, is live ball-by-ball coverage of the Cool and Smooth T20 action. The preliminary matches taking place this evening. Jennings looking to get into the semi-final. Hodge comes in. Full toss. Put away by Kyle KB, but not past young Bruni at cover. But he got a single in the end. And the score goes up to 49 without loss. It now brings George Muncy in strike, who, if I'm not mistaken, he should be anywhere close approaching a half century. 49 without loss. He's on 46. 49 without loss, and he's got 46 runs out of the lineup so far. 8 fours and 1 INET maximum. Dario Hodge has decided now to go around the wicket to bowl to Munson. And the score remains on 49 without loss. 6:16 in Antigua and Barbuda, 5:16 in Jamaica. The lights are not yet on here at Coolidge. They're coming on. Here is a delivery. And Munson trying to give himself some room to get a little fancy, to try to hit something a little inside out. And just for a moment, another dot ball. And Dario Hodge would have maybe thought that he would have gone through the defense there. Not good enough at all. Here comes Dario Hodge around the wicket to bowl to Munson, who is on 46. And to bowl to him is appeal for a leg before, and that is hit outside the line of the off stump. Dario Hodge can't believe it, but he was swinging at it. So the end of over number 5. Dario Hodge a little disappointed, but I think that one would have been pitched outside the line of the off stump. 49 without loss. He's still in shock that the umpire didn't give him out. Umpire is in the best position. He's coming to have a conversation now with the umpire, and he's saying to him that will be missing off stump in the end. So 5 overs bowled, 49 without loss, and at that stage the Rising Sun team were 36 for 4 when we make the comparison. So the power play, they're way ahead in terms of the power play, and Kyle KB will have to be able to try and be able to have a little bit more urgency in his batting. 49 without loss. Who's coming? Is this still going to be Dean Williams? No, it looks like it's going to be Heiliger. So Heiliger will bowl for Rising Sun. Mali Heiliger, another medium pacer. He's starting from the CIUN, 49 without loss. He's going to bowl to the right-hander Kyle KB, the wicketkeeper for Jennings. Heiliger comes in now to bowl to Kyle KB. Starts with a wide, 50 up for Jennings. A small trickling applause from the dugout of the Jennings dressing room. So the 50 up as Heiliger starts with a wide. So 50 without loss. The PIC Insurance Liberta Blackheart team, they have been the only team that has been off to a flyer. And Kyle KB playing at something, missed it completely. There was no feet movement at all. He's just flashing at the ball, and the ball passing way under his bat. 5-4 field being employed here by the captain of Rising Sun. Heiliger in now to bowl to Kyle KB. He's just flashing his bat. There's no bat movement. And now he rehearses. Get your right foot across to the line of the ball and punch it. past the gully, past backward point area. He's now rehearsing himself. Target is 123, 50 without loss. We're into over number 6. Heiliger in out the ball to KB. KB's whipping that beautifully out to the deep backward square leg fielder, Shaquan Hewlett. And they get 1 run. And the score goes up to 51 without loss. It now brings Munson into strike. George Munson. He's a very dangerous player. This young man, Munson, from Scotland. He's on 46. He's faced 24 balls. 25 minutes at the crease, 8 fours and 1 INET maximum. And he'll be looking to get his first half century of this Cool and Smooth tournament. 51 without loss. Heiliger coming around the wicket is going to bowl to Munson. And he's just dealing in boundaries here. Comes in out, bowls to him, and he's clipping this one in the air. It's gone past Bruni at the sharp mid-wicket area. They're thinking about 2. And they change their mind in the end. And the running has not been positive by Kyle KB. It needs to be a little bit more urgency in his running. He's just contented to just be ambling. This is a T20 game. And you got to see the intensity all the way. He's a young man. He's got to be turning around a lot more quicker. 52 without loss. Munson is on 47. KB's on 3. He's in strike now. Waits for Heiliger, who comes in out the ball to him, and he's tugging this one, hitting this one straight down the ground for 4. Lot of bottom man into that one. So Big George Munson saying, just touch his gloves and say, good shot. And so he goes up to 7. Kyle KB, and the score goes up to 56 without loss. 56 without loss. I want to take some time out in a little moment to pay some respects to the sponsors. Let's wait and see what's going to be happening again. Here goes Heiliger into bowl to Kyle KB. He's looking to run that down past the backward point fielder. No runs in the end. Over number 6 is completed, and at the end of over number 6, latest score here at Coolidge, Jennings large and in control at the end of the power play. They're 56 without loss, and at the end of the power play for Rising Suns, they were 43 for 4. So we're back with the cricket action. The changes continuing here. Dario Hodge will get another opportunity to bowl his second over. 56 without loss. And we want to salute most of the major sponsors who have made this tournament possible. We have Antigua and Barbuda Port Authority, Global Bank of Commerce, Antigua and Barbuda Festivals Commission. Dario Hodge turns from the media center in around the wicket into bowl to Munson. Munson is back and pulling this one to square leg. 50 for Munson. Short delivery. And this is really a lovely knock by the young man. He goes to 50 and the score goes up to 60 without loss. His first half century of the Cool and Smooth T20 tournament. What a lovely shot by the young man. And the score goes up to 60 without loss. Lots of conversations taking place, but it's really, really, really very amateurish in terms of the performance and the that I've seen here today from the Rising Suns in terms of their bowling unit. They have been all over the shop. The field placings have been just very, very, very poor so far, and so too has the bowling performance by Rising Suns team here. So almost like a walk in the park here for Jennings. 60 without loss. Munson is 51. There's no communication, no vibes at all here for Rising Suns. Hodge comes in out the bowl to Munson down the onside, and he gets a leg by. That one had a little pace onto it, leg by signal by the umpire. In the meantime, the score goes up to 61 without loss. It's all happening here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground. It's now 6:24, which means that the game that was scheduled to start at 7 o'clock will now have to be pushed back. Both teams are here ready. We'll wait and see what's going to be happening. Let's look around and see what's going to be happening here in this encounter. 61 without loss. Cal KB is on 7. Munson is on 52. As Dario Hodge is going to come in now to bowl to Cal KB. In now to bowl to KB. KB is whipping this one into the mid-wicket area for 4. Beautiful shot by the young man. He just clipped that beautifully into the vacant mid-wicket area. A boundary to Cal KB. Goes to 11 and the score goes up to 65 without loss. So the boundaries are coming fast and furious. 65 without loss. Dario Hodge has not been himself here today at all. Low on confidence. I've seen him bowl a lot better than this. Certainly. He starts again from the media center and he's been getting messages all day. Comes in now to bowl to Kyle KB. Short ball. Kyle KB on top of it and just helps it over cover onto the offside, and they'll pick up a couple of runs quite easily. Goes up to 13 and the score goes up to 67 without loss. 67 without loss. Making sure that the cricket action continues here. 67 without loss. Dario Hodge still thinking about it. Again, some spectators just ambling across the side screen. Somebody just needs to stop them. Hodge comes in now to bowl to Kyle KB. A little slow cutter there. He's able to get back onto it and get an easy single. Brings Munson back into a strike. In the meantime, the score goes up to 68 without loss. 68 without loss. The target is 123. That's what they would need to get into the semi-final. Jennings, and they're quite capable. They're on their way. Jennings Tigers. Dario Hodge is going to bowl to Muncie, who is on 52. In to bowl to him full toss, and he's just clipping that one beautifully out to Shaquan Hewlett, who's had to patrol on the leg side area. Powerful throw into Benjamin. Over. And number 7 is completed, and at the end of it, Jennings Tigers are 69 without loss. Take some time out to salute our sponsors: Antigua and Barbuda Port Authority, Global Bank of Commerce, Antigua and Barbuda Festivals Commission, APUA INET, Cricket West Indies, Tropical Shipping, Hadid Motors, St. John's Development Corporation, Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority, Images Design, Signs and Impressions, Antigua and Barbuda Cricket Association, Stonewall Reloaded, Kennedy's Club, Supreme Security, and Pineapple Beach Club. If you're following us on the Antigua and Barbuda Parish League page and all of the other social media pages by Cool and Smooth, and listening to us via the radio of Platinum FM 97.9, we say thanks for supporting the Cool and Smooth and supporting Antigua cricket, supporting Leeward's cricket, and most of all, supporting West Indies cricket. So, Munson is going to come into bowl. Looks like Heiliger is still continuing. And there are a number of changes taking place as we speak. And this is almost really academic. One fielder going from one end of the ground to the other. Certainly, you've got to be able to, at this level, come out with a master plan. And so far, the captain here for the Rising Suns team, and Mr. Isaiah Bruni, is really no plan, really. Number 12 for Rising Sun is decided to come on and bowl a couple of deliveries today. Heiliger. Who is going to stand up here for Rising Suns today? Will it be Heiliger? Munson is on 52, 69 without loss. Heiliger comes in now to bowl to Muncie. Muncie is just cracking this one out to the sweeper, and they will only get one run. He almost walked a single. goes up to 70. .70 without loss. Just give you an analysis of the bowling figures here so far. Isaiah Booney, 1 over, no maiden, 9 runs, no wicket. Dean Williams, 2 overs, no maidens, 18 runs, no wicket. Shane Burton, his first over cost 16. Heidegger in out the bowl to Kyle Caby. And he's just driving this one almost back to the bowler. Continuing the bowling figures. Dario Hodge, his first over. No, he's gone 2 overs, not for 16. He's really below par here. Heidegger running in. But I don't know what he was running in for, because Kyle Caby was not even in the picture. 70 without loss. I just find too much time wasting taking place in this game. Really time wasting. You gotta be in this competition. You gotta be competitive. Here's a awkward delivery here by Heidegger, squaring up Kyle Caby, going into the offside, but nowhere close to anyone who could be able to come up with a catch. And Caby gets another single, goes to 15. And the score goes up to 71 without loss. Brings Munson into strike, who's on 54. Heidegger is going to move in nicely. It's going to bowl to Munson, 71 without loss, and Munson is losing his shape there. He was looking for power. The right foot didn't come out to the pitch of the ball. He's a left-hander. And he was looking for the maximum there. You know, sort of looks at his bat and says, come on, I can do better. I can bat better than that. Rehearsing by saying that needed to use my top hand and hit that inside out over cover. Highly going to bowl to Munson. Munson again tied up. Ball angling in between bodyline area. End of the over. End of over number 8. And the score is 71 without loss. .71 without loss. The target is 123. 123 is the target. Another message comes out onto the field. I think this is something that the umpires are going to have to stop. In terms of what's going on. Here's the emergency fielder now running to give somebody something, and they're trying to get some water. So again, we have a hold up and a delay here. Shadrach Descartes now comes into the action, into the spell. 71 without loss. A lot of time wasting taking place here in this game. Delaying tactics, more or less. Jennings Tigers, they're large and in control. So let's look at the field placing for Descartes. He's got a wide third man. The fine leg is being brought up inside the 30-yard circle. On the offside, he's got a backward point. He's got a cover, a sweeper on the offside. A long on, a long off. Short mid-wicket, Descartes. Ball to Kyle Caby. Kyle Caby driving in the air. Will this be the first wicket? No. No big urgency there at all from Shane Burton. Very lame effort there from Shane Burton. And I thought that Burton could have done a lot better with that. He's a much better fielder than that. Lots of attitudes taking place. In the meantime, Kyle Caby gets 2 runs. He goes to 17 and the score goes to 73 without loss. Needed a bigger effort there from Shane Burton. Wide delivery, and it will be called a wide. So the score goes up to 74 without loss. Shadrach Descartes just trying some slow off cutters, more or less, but he went real wide with that one. Kyle Caby flashing, and he was so wide that he nearly couldn't get anywhere close to it. Here goes Shadrach Descartes as he glides away, moves past the umpire, comes in now to bowl to Kyle Caby. Kyle Caby is just tugging this one into the leg side area. Fielder from short wicket coming around, but he can't stop the single. And in the meantime, they've been able to to muster across and get a single. Now takes the total up to 75 without loss. We're into over number 9. Being bowled here in this preliminary game. Cool and Smooth T20 explosion. 75 without loss. The target is 123. 123 is the target. In a matter of time as to when they will get the 123. It's pretty academic as we speak right now. Maybe I can bet against myself. I'll say they'll get it in 13 overs. 75 without loss. Descarte. He comes in now to bowl to Muncy. Muncy is getting the ball pitched between middle and leg. He misses it, misses out on it, but gets the leg by. And the score in the meantime goes up to 76 without loss. Every time the ball comes in that area, it's almost like a blind spot area to Muncy. And simply his head is moving, so he's not watching the ball long enough. 76 without loss. Muncy is 54. KB is 19. In fact, I'm giving KB an extra one. It should be 18. And Descarte, we're in the number 5, turns from the media center, and he comes in now to bowl to KB. KB is looking to flick this one away. Missed it completely, and also missed by the wicketkeeper. A bye is now being signaled. So the out cricket of Rising Sun, the out cricket was also poor by Jennings Tigers. And by the Rising Suns, they're off the boil also here. So I don't know if it's a disease that has crept into the ground game here. But in the meantime, 77 without loss. Jennings Tigers, they need 123 for victory. That's what they need. If they win here, they're into the semi-final. Here is a tug, more or less, from Muncy. He's looking at his bat again out to the mid-wicket fielder. Brings up the 78 run. And Rising Suns, they're really under the pump here. It's almost like a stroll in the park. Even the umpires and all, there's no real matter of urgency. Descarte thought that the over was completed. Bernard Joseph was just switching from from one side to the next for the right-hander. Players not concentrating here at all. 78 without loss. Even Shango seems to have been caught in no man's land. He's still not moved his score from 77 to 78. Shango. Descarte comes in now to bowl to KB. Missed it completely. So finally, the over comes to an end. 9 overs bowled. And the score is 78 without loss. 78 without loss. And we're approaching the halfway stage. 78 without loss. It's all happening here in the Cool and Smooth preliminary T20 explosion. Just to give you an idea of the sponsors who've made this tournament possible so far: Pineapple Beach Club, Supreme Security, Kennedy's Club Limited, Stonewall Reloaded, Antigua and Barbuda Cricket Association. As Heiliger is going to move in now to bowl to Muncy. He's in now to bowl to Munson. Muncy is trying to whip that ball pitch between middle and leg. Just needs to be a little bit more balanced as we continue with the sponsors. Signs and Impression, Images Design, Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority, St. John's Development Corporation, Antigua and Barbuda Port Authority, Hadid Motors, Tropical Shipping, Cricket West Indies. We break. Halliger around the wicket to bowl to Muncy. Into bowl to Muncy. Muncy again just clipping this one away into the leg side area. Looking for a couple of runs, but Kyle KB is not alert enough and urgency in the running. And in the end, they finally get the second run. It's poor backing up there by the number 6 for Rising Sun. APOA INET, Antigua and Barbuda Festivals Commission, Global Bank of Commerce. Those are the sponsors who have made the Cool and Smooth 2022 successful so far. Preliminary round matches, semi-final on Friday, final on Saturday. Here is Munson driving in the air. Shane Button is going to be under it. I think he's going to get himself into trouble. He finally holds on to a skyer. And Rising Sun finally gets a wicket. A good catch by Shane Burton. And Jennings Tigers losing their first wicket, their wicket of Munson, who gets a rousing applause so far. Very well controlled. He's gone for 55. And I think looks like it will be Paul Miller who will be coming out to bat. So we just waiting for young Paul Miller. He's stepping out. He's going to join Kyle KB. Rising Sun in the meantime, they're having a little conference and a celebration on in the field. It's really, there has to be improvement. There has to be somebody has to be in control of the game. Somebody has to have a word with the captain and say to him, listen, this is an international competition, Isaiah Booney, and this is what is going to happen. The umpires need to call up Mr. Booney and say, come on, we need to have some urgency here with the game taking place. It's almost like a practice game. This is a competition taking place. So, you've got a situation here where Jennings Tigers have lost their first wicket. George Munson is back in the pavilion as we break for a little while. 80 for 1. Paul Miller comes out, but he's not facing. It's Kyle KB. Waits for Heiliger. He gets a wide delivery, and the score goes up to 81 without loss. Just a lack of discipline here by the Rising Suns bowling unit. Real lot of discipline. They've been on both sides. The field placing already has been poor, and that has not helped here at all in terms of the bowling slots and where they're bowling. Yeah, they're all over the shop. Dario Hodge being pushed back onto the third man area. Heiliger comes in now to bowl to KB. KB is flicking at this one. I go past the keeper, Jim Benjamin, and it's gone for 4 wides. So the umpire getting out his hand right there. Ill discipline down the onside now. Just all happening here. Score goes up now to 86 for 1. 86 for 1. Wicket to fall so far has been George Munson, who was caught. Shane Burton, bowl Amali Heiliger for 57. Heiliger comes in now to bowl to KB. KB is just whipping this out to the deep backward square leg fielder, and he will get 1 run quite easily. He loves that shot. You can see that. His score goes up to 87 for 1. He now brings Paul Miller into strike. Munson was caught. Shane Burton, bowler Amari Heiliger for 57, 39 balls, 49 minutes, 9 fours and 1 6. Joins the list of players who would have scored half centuries to date in this championship. And when you look at the list, you'll be able to see a list which is led by Kofi James with 2 half centuries. Here's a drive from Paul Miller in the offside, picking up an easy single. And the score goes up to 88 for 1. So Kofi James has 2 half centuries so far, 77 and 69. Kareem Agor, 58 not out. Darren Benter, 51 not out. Casey Carty, 65. Naim Young, 52. Yuri Smith, 51. Raheem Cornwall, 58. And George Munson joins that list there. Here's Kyle KB just really playing this one out onto the offside, and sloppy fielding again here by Rising Suns. And they appeal for a run out. He's out run out. Paul Miller is run out. So poor cricket all around. Miller with no urgency to get to the non-striker's end. And this is just really just embarrassing. No urgency, no intent at all taking place. Jennings Tigers loses a second wicket. A wicket that they really did not need to lose. In the case, 88 for 2. Sloppy cricket all around. So out comes the Jennings Tigers captain, Orlando Peters, who has come to just cool things down. And Paul Miller Sr., he had to take a walk. He really had to take a walk. He just couldn't believe what he saw. And he just couldn't believe. And it was just lack of urgency. And that's what I was talking about game awareness. You can't just give away your wicket like that. If you're playing cricket, you're playing cricket. And there has to be a communication line. Yes, no, go. Yes, no, go. If we're going, you got to run with intent all the time. And Miller just lost his wicket after some poor feeling. And in the end, it's not a way that he really would want to have lost his wicket. 10 overs bowled. And we're talking about 88 for 2. Here's Orlando Peters just playing his first delivery into the onside, picking up an easy single. And so the score quietly goes up to 89 for 2. We start the over number 11. Terry has just joined me and we're getting himself organized. I had to almost bet against myself in terms of when they were going to get the score here. But I think they're going to be maybe even pushed back a little bit further now with the loss of Paul Miller. Really poor cricket. But this young man is still fighting away here. Kyle KB. Descartes comes in now to bowl to KB. KB is fishing at a wide one there. It's a nothing shot. He'd be advised to just play the ball in front of him, trying to look to get fancy to steer a ball down to third man. That's a get out shot. Just come forward and stroke the ball on the offside. If he strokes the ball right in front of the captain, he'd get a single. That's how easy it is. 90 for 2. Descartes gonna move in now to bowl to KB, who's 20. Again, he's playing at nothing that is not there. The bounce is low. Orlando Peters is trying to say to him, come on, guys, we're giving away this game. Let's play proper cricket shots. Score remains on 90 for 2. It's all happening here. Flagman is around here, getting himself organized. Let's find out what's going to be happening. Descartes, he has other ideas. It's going to come in out the bowl to KB, in out the bowl to KB. KB again flashing at something. He's nowhere close there. There's no feet moving. He's automatically bending his knees, just flashing. He's now decided now to take an off-stump guard. So this is going to be interesting. And Shadrach Descartes has gone past him very, very quickly. And this is over number 11 being bowled. 90 for 2. Jennings Tigers. Descartes. Little nippy all-rounder. It's not performed by expectation in this championship. Comes in now. Slow ball. That is going to be called a wide. That is a wide. And again, the consistency of the bowling unit here has been very poor by Rising Suns. Too many things being tried. Got to keep the game as simple as possible. Keep it simple. Don't try anything. No need to try anything. You just give away a run. Score goes up now to 91 for 2. Descartes, we're in the number 5. He's going to come in now to bowl to Kyle KB, who's on 20. He's in now to KB. KB is back and just turning this into the leg side area. Thinking about 2. Orlando Peters is not interested. And the score goes up to 92. The target is 123 they need. Orlando Peters just comes down, remarks his guard. There's no bowlers in this competition here. They were in the last competition. Say good evening to Sir Earl Waldron. Here is Orlando Peters coming quietly forward. And no need for him to even look to play at that delivery. Over number 11 is completed. And the score is 92 for 2. Time is 6:49 here in Antigua and Barbuda. $92 for 2. It's all happening here. 92 for 2. Wicketkeepers call for his helmet, and the Rising Suns captain Isaiah Bruni, who bowled bowled the first over from the major center end. He's now switched to the CIU end. And he'll be bowling to KB, who is on strike. KB is on 21. Kyle KB. Wait for a little moment just to see in terms of what has been happening. Here goes another long break here in terms of the field setting. It's just really been disjointed in terms of the fielders. There's no plan. There's no plan. They're just reacting. This is really not good for the game at all. Having to take so long to be able to get the field together. These are things that are supposed to be already worked out. So it's a machinery. By the time you reach, you're ready to roll. Bruni, the captain for Rising Sun, comes in now to bowl to Kyle KB. And KB is just working this into the leg side area, thinking about two. But Orlando Peters is not interested. He's ready like a police officer, put up his hand like a traffic officer and says, no. 93 for 2. It's clear communication. Kyle KB can't say he didn't hear him. Peters comes into strike now. If I know him, he would maybe want to try to see if he can get this game done and dusted, get into the semi-final, have a 24-hour rest, and come back. Most likely will be either playing Caribbean Union, Bethesda, Golden Eagles, or PIC Liberta Blackhawks. Booney comes in now to bowl to Peters. Peters is gliding this one, trying to go through the offside. Fielder Shane Burton coming around there from backward point, cut it off nicely. And he wasn't able to get a single in that attempt. 93 for 2. Peters is 1. Here's Orlando driving. Cool long single down the ground. Picking up the 94th run for Jennings. 94 for 2. And the way Paul Miller got out, it shows how far out of his crease he was. Here is Kyle KB just whipping this one into the leg side area. If they want, they can get 2 runs, but Orlando Peters is not in any hurry either. So he too is part of the non-passion, non-urgency. That ball has gone all the way out to Shaquan Hewlett, and they only get 1 run. 95 for 2. Here's Peters driving again. Poor fielding again by the fielder at cover. Looks like Booney Jr. And they get another single. Score in the meantime goes up to 96 for 2. 96 for 2. Here goes Booney. He comes in now to bowl to Kyle KB. KB is looking to whip that one. Missed it completely. Head went up into the air. Didn't keep his shape long enough. Over number 12 is completed. And the score, latest score here, Coolidge Cricket Ground, 96 for 2. Van Roy has just brought in the teams for the next game. Thank you very much, Van Roy. Match referee. So the action, Descartes will continue with his bowling. 96 for 2. And Rising Suns, I think they're maybe just glad that they're on the stage, because there's really certainly no intent of trying to be able to get this game done and over with. Descartes is going to move in now nicely to bowl to Orlando Peters. In now to bowl to Peters. Peters just turns this into the leg side area. Daryl Hodge coming in from short fine leg. Tries to throw down the non-strikers in and gives away another run. So this is what I was talking about. There's no plan. Because the captain did not even go to try to back up. Here was Daryl Hodge trying to throw down the non-striker's stump, and the captain just stood there with his hands on his arms, on his waist, and asking rather than trying to back up to be able to save the ball. In the meantime, the score goes to 98 for 2. 98 for 2. I've got my colleague here, Terry Laraja, who will come in and give me a little reprieve and maybe just end the game sooner rather than later after this over. Here is a lovely shot, balanced shot here by Orlando Peters, whipping this into the deep backward square leg fielder area. Score goes up to 99. That felt good. You could see Orlando, nice balance there in playing that shot. Would have enjoyed that. Score goes up to 99 for 2. Good evening, Terry. How are you doing? How was your day?
Good evening, Vernon, and good evening to all our viewers and listeners on the Parish League Facebook page and the Cool and Smooth T20 Explosion pages, and of course on Platinum 97.9 FM radio. Good day to wherever you are listening in the world. My day was busy but good. Yours, Vernon? Frustration with this match, I believe.
Poor cricket. It's just been really, really, really poor cricket. The outfield from both teams was not good at all. 99 for 2. Here's KB's out caught. Jennings has lost their third wicket. So, as we talk here, Terry, the woes continue here. 99 for 3, Terry. Lost of KB. Cotton Bowl, Shadrach Descati. And another wicket falls here. Goes back into the hut. And not good cricket here at all. They're trying to get a little fancy, no real feet movement. And guilty there of playing from the crease. He goes back for 23. Batted for a long period of time. And Jennings have lost their third wicket. 99 for 3.
Yes, that might have just rushed KB there for a bit, and he didn't get anywhere near behind the line of the ball. And just caught the top edge of the bat. Straight back to Descati, the bowler, who took a good catch on his follow-through. So they're after going so well, I believe they were 80 without loss when Munzi fouled. And now 99 for 3, but of course they only need another 24 for victory. So Rising Sun Spartans didn't get the start by the look of it.
No, they didn't get the start, but I'm almost kind of concerned about the control of the game. Somebody, one of the umpires, have to call the captain and have a word with him. I mean, it's just been allowed to go on and on and on, and at the same time, nobody has really brought the captain into being to have a conversation in terms of what has been happening. Another delivery here by Descati.
Yes, and the same thing happened last evening, didn't it? When the second match ran late, they were able to pick up time through the match because the Alberta Blackhawks completely dominated the game. But even so, need to see them play within the rules of the competition.
Here's Cameron Miller getting his first run as he opens the face of the bat. Brings up the 100 for Jennings Tigers. Sort of missed the little spell today from Matthew Miller. 100 up for Jennings Tigers. The end of over number 13, so 100 for 2. Two of the most senior players at the crease here. 100 for 3, and some 7 overs to go. The target is 123. They need 23 more runs. And like I told you, I think I was betting against myself. Looks like they might get this now in 17 overs. Originally, I'd said they would get it in 13. But the time-wasting tactics has just gone down again. The captain for Rising Sun team and Mr. Isaiah Bruni is bowling his third over. 100 for 3. Jennings comes in out by a signal dead ball. So the urgency and the passion of the game is just not there. Really, really. It's got to be able to lift. I hope the second game we could be able to have a good lift and a good competitive game.
Well, I was going to say, since the semi-final spots up for grabs, you'd think they'd be right on top of their game.
Here is Cameron Miller pulling into the onside area, and he'll only get 1. Score in the meantime goes up to 101 for 3. I think Orlando Peters needs to take control of this game and nail this into the box. If they win this, they go straight into the semi-final. Terry?
Exactly. And you were talking about Matthew Miller, Vernon, the 13-year-old. Great to see. He got man of the match the other night.
And he bowled his 4 overs today.
Bowled 4 overs very well today, I believe. And I was listening to an interview, and he speaks extremely well for a youngster.
He's a student of the game.
Most definitely. Great to see, great to hear.
One for the future. I think Rising Sun is just pleased that they're on the stage. Here is a delivery here from Bruni, beating Orlando Peters all end up. Jim Benjamin with a good take. 101 for 3. 101 for 3. They need 22 more runs. Here is a punch by Orlando Peters. Can't beat Shane Burton at backward point. The score remains on 101 for 3. Peters is 2. Comes quietly forward. They sneak and get a single. Shane Burton comes in quickly. Had he hit, I think it might be curtains. Good backing up there. How did he miss that? Cameron Miller would have been in trouble. Because I think he took off late. Really late. Peters sneaking his 7th run there. And Cameron Miller, I think he would have been a goner, Terry.
He would have, by all accounts, I'd say, because he put his bat down to slide it in and it got stuck in the ground. So a direct hit there by Burton would have had him short.
102 for 3. Here is Miller trying to get fancy, trying his head moving, trying to play square. You got to play the ball up in front of you. Got to get in line. You need it's almost like a get-out shot. You get an edge and you're caught by the keeper. Booney in now to bowl to Miller. Miller is on-driving down the ground. That's a much better shot there. And picking up the 103rd run. He picks up his 3rd run. And the over is coming to an end. So over number 14. 103 for 3, Terry. We're going to have a long night.
Yeah, well, just the 20 required. And, of course, they've got all of 6 overs to do it of Jennings Tigers to book their spot in the semi-finals to join Liberta Blackhawks and Bethesda Golden Eagles snuck in on net run rate, I believe.
Yes, and it shows you the game awareness of what we were talking about.
Exactly.
People understanding
not to get bowled out and all that, bat their overs, and it paid dividends.
But Pickett's questions were poor yesterday. Very, very, very poor. Poor in the field. They bowled poorly. Shadrach Descati, 3 overs, no maidens, 12 runs, 1 wicket. He's bowled well so far. He's brought them back slightly into this game. That one hustling on to Cameron Miller, tying him up. I think Orlando Peters will have to take a different approach here and try and see if he can get as close as possible. He got lots of overs, lots of balls.
Plenty of time.
It's just the urgency. It's just the passion. They're like they're just going through the motion, as if like, well, Rising Sun are just going to just give us this game. You got to make a statement. This is almost considered like a semi-final. That's how you have to treat it. The Scotty in now to bowl to Miller. Miller is driving aerially, his head up into the air, losing his position. Needed to keep his composure, stay over the ball a little long enough. And the score remains on 103 for 3. I'm joined by Terry Laraja.
Could be day turning tonight, Vernon, having an effect on the batting side, picking up the ball as the artificial lights here at Coolidge take effect in full.
Miller driving inside.
That was better.
Cover. We'll get a couple of runs here. Is he interested? Yes, they get 2 runs quite easily. And so the score goes up to 105 for 3. So Miller is showing his intent. And that's what I like. The intent to be able to get on with the game. I think Kyle KB did not show enough intent at the top of the order. Didn't run enough singles either. But Miller has shown that if the ball is pitched up into his area, he's going to put it away. He's back and staring at. That's a beautiful shot down to third man. He's going to come back for a couple of runs here. And he's not very good in terms of his turning skills, but he gets 2 runs nonetheless. And he goes up to 107 for 5. So I like the approach of Cameron Miller so far. Both batsmen are on 7. Orlando Peters is on 7. Miller is on 7. They need 16 more to win this game.
Yes, and that was very nicely played by Miller, waiting for the ball to come to him. cutting it fine past backward point. So 4 runs off the last 2 balls. That's all they need. They're well in front of the clock are the Jennings Tigers.
Descarte into his 4th over, 1 for 16 so far. 107 for 3. Jennings Tigers need 16 more, 16 singles. They get 1 here. No, somebody has to scurry back into the crease. Just for a moment they thought that they would get 1. But the fielder running in there very quickly. Looks like Allen. Tassilo Allen at the short mid-wicket area. 107 for 3. It's 7:05 in Antigua and Barbuda, 6:05 in Jamaica. Means that the second game is likely to start around about maybe 7:30 by the time they go through the pages. Here's Miller driving. Ken losing his shape, more or less. This is over number 15 being bowled and completed. 107 for 3, Terry.
Yeah, 107 for 3, and Jennings doing it comfortably still, though they lost their last couple of wickets in the last few overs. Rising Sun trying to hit back, but of course they just don't have the total on the board to defend. So the Tigers looking to wrap this up pretty quickly. They've still got some 5 overs left to get these 16. So no panic stations or anything here at the moment. But only a sprinkling of spectators so far. So come on down if you're in Antigua, especially around the Coolidge area. Come and support exciting local cricket in this great tournament, the Cool and Smooth T20 Explosion. Plenty of room, a nice relaxing balmy evening here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground. Coming up next, of course, Empire Nation and All Saints Pythons for that last semi-final spot.
Here goes Booney to Peters. Peters is just stroking this one onto the offside. Descarte, who's maybe just had to change his boot, can't stop the single. In the meantime, the score goes up to 108 for 3. Peters is 8. Brings Cameron Miller, who's on 7 into strike. Rising Suns captain Booney comes in now to bowl to Miller. Miller is on driving down the ground, gets an easy single. Almost like a walk in the park, and the score goes up to 109 for 3. Peters needs to take control of this game and say, listen, we're going to finish this game inside the 17th over. When he comes in now, bowls to Peters. Peters driving again on the offside, picking up another easy single. The score goes up to 110 for 3. 110 for 3. Both batsmen are on 8. Booney. Isaiah Booney, the captain of Rising Suns, comes in at the bowl to Miller. Miller sneaks another single on the offside. Descarte can't stop that. Good communication, good running between these two so far.
Yep, good batting, good sensible cricket.
Both batsmen are on 9, as if they have a competition going between them. But at least we've seen some intent, some passion, and running between the wickets here. Booney comes at the bowl to Peters. Peters is back and can't beat Shane Burton. Trying to go square rather than more in front of him, and try to play the ball as late as possible. Gotta let that top hand work and stay a lot lower to the ball. Orlando Peters is defending a delivery, can't score, and so over number 16 is completed, and the score is Nelson, 111 for 3.
111 for 3, just 12 more needed, 4 overs to get them. So wow, Jennings just doing it nicely, picking off the singles at will as they push towards their semi-final spot. The teams arrived, of course, for the second match tonight. These matches will complete group 2.
I think I've seen All Saints.
I think I saw a few of them downstairs when I was coming up.
Oh, okay. I know All Saints are warming up already, and they're being coached by Winston Benjamin, so he is not going to make any jokes at all. Shane Burton is back. He's going to come in out the bowl to Miller down the onside, and that clearly was pitched outside the line of the leg stump. 111 for 3. Shane Burton trying to slow things down. They need 12 runs. Terry,
Mm-hmm.
111 for 3. Cameron Miller in strike. Orlando Peters, the captain, and the non-strikers in. Slower cutter. In fact, it's a
No ball.
And I think I can tell you why, right, Terry? There are only 3 fielders
Inside. Mm.
Yeah, so no, they're 4. So how did the no ball come about? Let's figure this one out, Terry. Who was not in the circle?
1, 2. The pillar's blocking. Yeah, no, they got 4 in the circle.
Yeah,
must
so
have been
it
front foot.
Must have been a front foot no ball. Free hit there.
Well,
So Miller looks like he's almost going to get himself in trouble. So Miller losing. And that's because he's trying to go for maximum power.
Yes.
Rather than just play a proper cricket shot. Yes, it's a free hit, but you can play a proper cricket shot and get a boundary. 112 for 3. Shane Burton got a first ball duck, and he's been very poor so far in the bowling. First over cost 16 runs. Can't stop the single. And in the meantime, score goes up to 113. 113 for 3. They need 10 runs, Terry. They need 10 singles.
10 is all it will take. But Burton, to me, tonight he looks like he's trying to do too much. 6 different deliveries in the over.
113 for 3. Burton comes into both Orlando Peters, who's just gliding it forward past the captain at cover, picking up the 114th run. He can't stop the single. And the score motoring on here. Terry the Leeward Islands will be starting training tomorrow here in their preparation before they head out for the 4-day competition game, and a couple of practice games that will be taking place on Sunday and Monday right here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground after the Cool and Smooth T20 action. Full toss driven down the ground. Another no ball again, Terry.
Has to be the front foot. And now Isaiah Brune, the captain, is coming to question it and have a look at the line, but the umpire just shows him that yes, your front foot was over the line. Yes, the West Indies Championship, 4-day championship, returns on May 18.
Yes.
1-1, lost one so far, the Hurricanes.
116 for 3. 116 for 3. Shane Burton questioning, along with the captain for Rising Suns, the umpire, Orlando Peters. Both batsmen are on 10.
Why?
Orlando Peters having a go with the long angle. Hit this one into the air. But it's a free hit. I don't think the fielder even picked up in terms of what's going to be going on. Good catch in the end by him.
Mm-hmm.
But they got 2 runs, more or less, and the score goes up to 118 for 3. It's called game awareness. Shane Burton has not had a good game here at all. He's not had a entire cool and smooth, because originally he was an Empire Nation. He's moved to Rising Sun. Here is Peters coming forward and gliding this one here in terms of what's going to be happening. So the action taking place. 119 for 3, Terry. I think I'll give you the opportunity to bring this one home, Terry.
Yep, just the 3 more runs needed, but we've seen a couple of changes. Sheldon Cottrell was picked up in the draft by the Pigots Crushers, but didn't turn out for them, and they'd be disappointed that they didn't make the most of their opportunities and missed the semi-finals. They would have been favourites in Group 1 to go through with Liberta Blackhawks, but it came down to net run rate, and Bethesda Golden Eagles got through. So they're the 2 teams that have got through so far from Group 1. As Group 2 finishes tonight, and it's going to be Halligan by the look of it. Halligan will continue from the northern end. He's bowling to Peters, and Peters just drives that up to long off for an easy single that they stroll through. Takes the score up to 120 for 3. Just started the 18th over, so just a matter of 2 runs required for victory for the Jennings Tigers. And they will join the 2 teams from Group 1 in the semi-finals. As Halliger again comes in this time to Miller, and Miller turns that beautifully off his legs into the boundary for 4.
Game
Lovely
over.
shot, and that's game and match to the Jennings Tigers. Fist pumps all around by the 2 not-out batsmen in Miller and Peters, and they're home by 7 wickets and home convincingly to reach the semi-finals of this cool and smooth T20 explosion for 2022. And they'd be a happy with that performance there, Vernon.
Well, happy is not the word. It's more than just happy. I think it's the way they've been able to demonstrate with a young squad. And I think that's one of the things that you have to give them major credit for. It's been a young team, and to be able to have a young player like Matthew Miller, 13 years old, playing, in fact, in the games that they've been able to play so far and bowl well, I think is an inspiration for the Jennings community and for the team itself. And I want to give some credit to the head coach, Paul Miller, who's been the engine behind everything that is taking place here so far.
Yeah, Paul Miller's done a wonderful job at Jennings in building up a really strong squad. And they're starting to get the results that they're looking for. And fantastic, as you say, for young Matthew Miller. Bowled well again tonight. No wicket for 31 off his 4 overs, but troubled the batsman. Of course, he took the 2 for 9 in an earlier round match to claim the player of the match performance in that one. So Jennings Tigers, and they'd be happy with their international player in Scottish international George Munsey, a fine 57 off just the 39 balls, which included 9 fours and 1 maximum. And he'd just be about man of the match, wouldn't he?
Yeah, so what I think I would do, Terry, is give you a chance where you can take your time and go through the stats. And then I think we got the lineups as soon as we can get the toss. We see Alex Athenes, Justin Athenes, stepping out as the Empire Nation captain. So he's back as captain. Originally, Kenrick Scott was the captain for the 2-day competition, but I see here for the Cool and Smooth T20 competition, Athenes has been the captain. Who's coming for All Saints tonight? I have not seen their captain as yet. I see the match referee, Austin Richards Senior, who is out there. It should be our good friend, right? He's coming out now, the All Saints captain.
Right, but I'll just go through the scorecard with you for the match that just concluded. That Jennings Tigers won by 7 wickets, defeating Rising Sun Spartans. Rising Sun won the toss and decided to bat first this afternoon. And just run through the score sheet for you. Gian Benjamin was stumped KB, bowled Paul Miller for 21. Tassilo Allen LBW bowled Kenroy Brown for 2. Shane Burton caught Orlando Peters, bowled Kenroy Brown for 0. Shadrach Descati caught Cameron Miller, bowled Kenroy Brown for 6. Junior Henry LBW bowled Jedidia Martin for 3. Shukan Hewlett was run out by Jaheim Africa for 31. Malinga Brunei not out 32. Dean Williams was run out also by Jaheim Africa, a good day in the field, for 18. And Dario Hodge was not out 0. At the end of the 20 overs, Rising Sun Spartans posted 122 for 7. Kenroy Brown, a standout bowler, 4 overs, no maidens, 3 for 21. Judea Martin, 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 27. Paul Miller, 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 20. Orlando Peters, 4 overs, no maidens, no wicket for 21. And young Matthew Miller, 4 overs, no maidens, no wicket for 31. And they didn't get the start that they wanted, losing 19 for 1, 19 for 2, 31 for 3, 31 for 4, 50 for 5, 71 for 6, and then a 49-run partnership at the end between Dean Williams and Malinga Brune got them up to 122 for 7. It was always going to be a struggle to defend such a total, and it proved just that. Jennings Tigers round George Munsey, the Scottish international. He was caught. Shane Burton bowled Amali Halager for 57. He's 57 coming off 39 balls in 49 minutes, 9 fours and 1 6 at a healthy strike rate of 146. And that brought up his first half century of this cool and smooth T20 explosion. Kyle Cabey caught and bowled Shadrach Descati for 23. Paul Miller was run out by Malinga Brune for 1. Orlando Peters remained 14 not out, along with Cameron Miller, also 14 not out, as Jennings Tigers completed the victory by 7 wickets. They ended on 124 for 3, and that moves them into the semi-finals. They had just under 2 overs remaining, so 124 for 3, chasing 123 for victory. And the bowling figures for Rising Sun Spartans: Isaiah Brune, 4 overs, no maidens, no wicket for 20. Dean Williams, 2 overs, no maidens, no wicket for 18. Shane Burton, 2 overs, no maidens, no wicket for 23. Dario Hodge, 2 overs, no maidens, no wicket for 19. O'Malley Hallinger, 3.2 overs, no maidens, 1 for 25. And Shadrach Descati, 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 16. The Tigers lost wickets, an 80-run opening partnership between George Munsey and Kyle Cabey, and lost their second wicket at 89 and their third wicket at 99. So they strolled to victory, 124 for 3 off 17.2 overs. So they still had some 16 balls to spare, and they won comfortably by 7 wickets, and that takes the Jennings Tigers into the semi-finals of this, the cool and smooth T20 explosion for 2022, where they have joined the Alberta Blackhawks and the Bethesda Golden Eagles. Now we wait for our second match tonight, which will decide the last place for last semi-final spot, and that will be, of course, between Empire Nation and All Saints Python. So it should be a cracker of a match. And as I say, if you're in Antigua, especially around the Coolidge area, come on down. Plenty of space out on the grass banks. Lovely balmy night here in Antigua. Enjoy some great local cricket and support a fantastic tournament that's been going since 2013 now, showcasing young talent, giving them opportunities, progress their career forward, such as Matthew Miller is doing, the 13-year-old leg spinner from Jennings Tigers. So, as I say, Jennings Tigers into the final. They're just doing the player of the match presentation as we speak, and I'd say that would go to Scotland international George Munsey for his 39 ball 57. Played splendidly and certainly set up the victory for Jennings Tigers. Rising Sun Spartans only able to post a below par, really, 122 for 7, and that was thanks to Kenroy Brown, 4 overs, 3 for 21, and he knocked over the 3 out of the top 4 Rising Sun Spartans batsmen. So a good convincing win there for Jennings Tigers. And we're just watching the Empire Nation now, just going through their paces, getting a bit of a practice ball and fielding, catching and fielding in before their match. They will be up next here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground. And of course, you can, if you can't make it to Coolidge tonight, you can always follow us on Parish League Facebook page, Cool and Smooth T20 Explosion platforms, and of course Platinum FM 97.9 FM radio broadcast for you. So plenty of ways to follow the action here from the Coolidge Cricket Ground in this wonderful tournament. And Flagman in all his splendor, just photo opportunities around the ground at the moment as they're doing the presentation. The heavy rollers on the pitch, flattening out any bumps and crevices for this second match, and it should be an exciting match. Of course, semi-final spot up for grabs, so both teams should be hungry and eager for success in this second match that will come up in a few minutes' time. So they're just remarking the crease and everything with the pitch as the presentations have all been done now, and we wait for the two teams to come out. And I'll just let you know of who will be playing tonight. All Saints Pythons, and their team will be Kerry Mentor, Larry Joseph, Michael Haynes Dover, Casey Carty, Leonardo Julian, Owen Graham, Melvin Charles, Michael Marsland, Curzon Archibald, Martin Caesar Jr., Jason Sinclair, and Jewel Andrew. That's a strong lineup there. Kerry Mentor has been in some good form. Casey Carty, of course, scored a half century earlier on in this tournament. Leonardo Julian, the exciting prospect coming out of West Indies under-19s a few seasons ago, and then played in the emerging players when they won the regional Super 50 tournament. And Jewel Andrew, of course, Leeward Islands under-15s captain. And Michael Marsland, who's been in some good form with the ball. So that's the All Saints Pythons team for you. And see if we've got the Empire Nation team will consist of Justin Artenez, Kenrick Scott, Jari Edwards, Rashid Henry, Damian Lowenfield, Marley Richards, Kieran Powell, Yavik Toppin, Taim Tong, Nathan Edward, and Matthew Ford. So not a strong team. Both teams in Empire Nation and All Saints Pythons fielding a strong 11 tonight, as it's all or nothing. The winner, of course, will move into the semi-finals of the competition. The loser will be out of contention. So they've got some top players there. Kieran Powell, of course, West Indies opener. Marley Richards, a former Leeward Islands all-rounder. And Justin Artenez has been in good form this season, as has Damian Lowenfield for Police in the Parish League competition. Taim Tong also showed good pace this season, continuing on his fine form from the last couple of seasons. So we should be in for a terrific game. There's a few more spectators are joining us here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground over on the grassy banks as Chicky's Hi-Fi is blasting out the music. We're just waiting. The ground staff are just making sure the crease is all marked correctly. The roll has been on, so we're just about all set to get underway for this second match of the Cool and Smooth T20 explosion for this evening here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground. And that will be between Empire Nation and All Saints Pythons. And whoever wins will claim the last spot in the semi-finals for 2022. Of course, they come up on Friday night. Tomorrow being a rest day. And then we have the semi-finals. The two semi-finals will be played on Friday night. One at 4 p.m. and one at 7 p.m. And then on Saturday, 4 p.m. will be the third and fourth place playoff, followed by the big one, the finale, which will ball off around 7 p.m. on Saturday evening. But before we get there, we get through this match tonight, and as I say, the winner will join already confirmed semi-finalists in Liberta Blackhawks, who are unbeaten so far in the competition, Bethesda Golden Eagles, and now a Jennings Tigers. So good, strong teams, Vernon. Both of them fielding good, strong 11s.
You're talking about this feature
one
game
coming up? Yep.
Well, on paper, let's put it this way. On paper,
My good friend Kieran Powell.
He's here. Oh, that's good news.
Yeah.
Good news. So they got young Nathan Edwards also too. Which is, so as you said, I'm looking for Mally Richards' name. No Mally Richards tonight?
No, he's there.
Yeah, oh yeah. So they got Mally Richards, Kyron Powell, Zavik Stoppin, Time Tong, Nathan Edwards, Matthew Ford, Damian Lofield, Rashid Henry, and Joari Edwards. So just give your own thoughts very quickly before we start, Terry.
And the umpires are in the middle. So it won't be too long before the game gets underway. We're just waiting on the two teams, and we'll get word of the toss for you very shortly. It should be a very interesting matchup between two top local clubs. Was Empire Nation, a great history in Antigua and Barbuda cricket. And with both umpires are in the middle, and it looks like Empire Nation will be fielding. Just getting confirmation of that for you as we speak. A lovely clear night, so we shouldn't have any interruptions. Be able to go right through, and hopefully it will be a interesting and competitive matchup. See the Empire Nation boys just in a huddle just inside the boundary rope, gearing themselves up for the contest. And likewise, All Saints Pythons, let's get in their opening batsman ready as Empire Nation boys into the field of play. So we're not too far from a start here in the second match tonight, the feature match between Empire Nation and All Saints Pythons. As the opening batsmen are coming on, just for All Saints Pythons, and it looks like they'll be opening see if I can pick up the players for you. Be opening with Leonardo Julian, wicketkeeper batsman from Trinidad, and Michael Haynes Dover. So it'll be Haynes Dover and Julian opening batting for the All Saints Pythons. And I can tell you, be Haynes Dover by the look of it, will be taking the first ball, and the first over will be bowled by Nathan Edward. So Nathan Edward will be opening the bowling for Empire Nation, and Haynes Dover and Leonardo Julian will be opening the batting for the All Saints Pythons. And looks like Edward was going to start with 2 slips. They decided on 1 slip. Left arm paceman will be coming over the wicket to the right-handed batsman, and here he comes now in from the northern end into Haynes Dover, is pulling that through the mid-wicket area. Runs the first one quickly, but that is all it'll get. Bit of a wild return, but well backed up there. So All Saints Pythons underway. They're 1 without loss. And 1-2 Haynes Dover. Left-hander to a left-hander as Julian just marking his guard. Just got the 1 slip in, as I say, and backward point, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on. In comes Edward, and that one is clipped nicely by Julian for 1 into the onside. So he's up and running also. 2 without loss are the All Saints Pythons in the first over of their 20. So both batsmen on 1. As Haynes Dover comes back into strike. Field just swaps around for the right-hander. Edward is ready now, and in he comes from the northern end up to the wicket, and that one is cut nicely, just backward of point down to a 3rd man on the boundary. They come back for the 2nd, and that is well run. So 2 more to the score, takes the score up to 4 without loss. We're in over number 1.
Young Nathan Edwards. Busy little player, young man who has represented the West Indies under 19 from St. Martin, going in leaps and bounds. And from the CIUN, looking a little busy, pitched up Yorker there for length delivery. All to play for here, Terry.
Most definitely. Final place in the semi-finals.
Can't get any better than this.
No.
Quite a little quiet though, Terry.
Like they, it's